What's going on, guys? Justin here with my starts and sits for week 4. I want to quickly say thank you for the turnout on the last video. Each of my last 3 videos have been outperforming the previous one, and I'm really grateful for that. Also, I want to quickly say that over 98% of you guys that watch are not subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. Let's jump right into quarterbacks that I'm looking to start. And I'm not sure if I need to mention Justin Herbert at this point, but he's pretty much a must-start moving forward with how much they pass, and he even scrambles a decent amount. He takes on the Giants this week, which is a quarterback-friendly matchup. Drake May is on this list for a 3rd straight week. He's the QB6 on the year, and his team is bad enough where they will always be in a need to pass, and they're never just going to run it down somebody's throat. He takes on the Panthers, who haven't been great for opposing quarterbacks, but I think that's just because the teams are blowing them out. I had Jordan Love on this list last week, and hand up, that's on me. Bad call against a dominant Browns defense. Though this week he takes on a much worse defense in the Cowboys in a dome where I think the Packers can put up some points. Geno Smith had his best game of the season last week, and I think he could build on it against a bad Chicago Bears defense. The point total for this game is 47.5, so there should be points. Sticking with the same game, Caleb Williams just put up the QB1 performance, and he's the QB3 on the year. I don't know how sticky that is going to be, but he faces a good matchup in the Raiders defense this week, so fire him up. A couple of deeper options are Carson Wentz versus the Steelers and Bryce Young versus the Patriots. They play some not so great defenses. Moving on to the quarterbacks that I'm looking to sit, Jared Goff takes on the Browns, and I would be looking for better options than him. This game is in Detroit and in a dome, so it isn't as bad as it could be, but I would see if you could improve. He might be able to put up a serviceable game if the offensive line gives him time and he hits these big plays against man coverage. Dak Prescott just lost CeeDee Lamb for a few weeks, and he finished as the QB 17 last week. It is definitely more difficult losing a player in-game rather than heading into a game knowing you don't have him, but I'm not going to start him against a good Packers defense. Aaron Rodgers takes on a good Vikings defense in Ireland, and I would be looking for better options if you can. And Trevor Lawrence might just suck at football. He takes on a good 49ers defense, though they did just lose Nick Bosa, but I'm still keeping him on the bench. On to the running backs that I think are worth a start. I don't think I need to mention Jordan Mason, but he is a must-start moving forward and is a really good matchup against the Steelers this week. Cam Scatterbo and Omarion Hampton are not smash starts each week, but I don't really see how you could keep them on the bench moving forward with their backups being both injured. J.K. Dobbins has been pretty good on the year, and he's the RB12. He takes on a bad Bengals defense in a game where the game script should favor him and the rushing offense. Ashton Jeanty was more of a temper expectations last week, and he's in a weird spot. Valued very highly going into the year, and he was being drafted right at the 1-2 turn in a 12-team league. But he's been underperforming behind a bad offensive line. I do think he turns it around this week, and I'm going to fire him up in a game where there's good opportunities to put up some fantasy points. For running backs that I'm sitting, I'm looking at Javonte Williams. Honesty hour here, I'm a Javonte Williams hater, and as a Packers fan, I will be hating him even more this week. But bias aside, he takes on a really good Packers defense, and he's also been the beneficiary of short touchdown runs. But the Cowboys offense will already be at a handicap thanks to an injured CeeDee Lamb, so I don't see as many easy opportunities for Javonte. I think it's time to send Chase Brown to your bench if you have better options. He has been remarkably inefficient and now plays on a bad offense who takes on a good Denver Broncos defense. I'm looking for someone else if possible. Travis Etienne has been really good this year against some not so great defenses, but this week he draws the 49ers, who under Robert Saleh have a much improved defense. Like I mentioned earlier, they did lose Nick Bosa for the year, so that's a bit of a hit, but I'm still looking for better options than Etienne. The last guy I'm iffy on is David Montgomery. The Browns might have the best defense in the league, and I think that defensive matchup favors Gibbs between the two running backs. On to the wide receivers that I'm starting. Backpacking off the Justin Herbert start, I am firing up each of the Chargers wide receivers. They love to pass the ball, and Herbert has a flamethrower for an arm, so if I got any of the 3, I'm putting them in my lineup. Tet McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, and Rome Odunze are 3 guys that I probably don't need to mention anymore. These guys should be starters moving forward. Tet and Rome are the top pass catchers on their offense, and now Emeka gets the luxury of playing without Mike Evans. Godwin could play, but he's still going to demand the most targets. I started Geno, I started Jeanty, and I'm starting Jacoby Myers. He's the main target earner on the Raiders offense, and until further notice, I'm starting anyone against the Bears. Trey Tucker could be a home run hitter and an option if you are chasing points too. I'm starting Matthew Golden for the first time this year against a really bad Cowboys defense. He had his best game as a pro last week, although it wasn't that great, but I do think he breaks out this week on Sunday Night Football. Jerry Jeudy is an option that could be a startable as well. The Lions' pass defense hasn't been all that great, and he's probably the top pass catcher on the Browns. As for the wide receivers I'm starting with George Pickens, and this one might sound weird. Yes, CD is out, but I don't think George Pickens is going to benefit all that much from him missing. He's not the main target earner on this offense, and that guy is someone we will get to in a bit. I think it's also time to sit Brian Thomas. He has not been good this year, Trevor Lawrence has not been good this year, and the Jags' passing offense has not been good this year. And they take on a good 49ers defense, so for the first time, I'm sending BTJ to the bench. Calvin Ridley has also underperformed this year, and he draws a solid Texans defense. Derek Stingley may miss the game, so it's important to pay attention to the injury report, but I think they still give Cam Ward fits, and I don't feel too confident about starting Ridley. I'm not going to fire up Jordan Addison either. This is his first game back after the suspension, and it's in Ireland where I feel like these foreign games are always sloppy. Staying in the same game, I don't really know if I want to start DK Metcalf in what could be a sloppy Ireland game versus a good Vikings defense. I'm sitting any Bills wide receiver not named Khalil Shakir as this game script just doesn't suit them. The Bills are favored by almost 17 points, and I think this is just going to be a run-heavy game. If Xavier Worthy is active, I am a bit hesitant on putting him into lineups. I think he could still be limited by that injury, and it has a high re-injury risk. And the last receiver I'm looking to sit for the second straight week is T. Higgins. The Bengals' offense is just a nightmare situation, and they take on a good Denver Broncos defense. As far as the tight ends I'm looking to start, Tucker Kraft was on this list last week, though he was dealing with a knee injury. I'm not sure if it played a role, but he also just popped up with a new mild elbow injury. I don't love the injuries stacking up, but this matchup against the Cowboys is too good, and there are only a few guys that I would be taking over him. Staying in Sunday Night Football, Jake Ferguson is a must-start moving forward, and at the very least until CeeDee Lamb comes back. He seems to be the main target earner in a CeeDee-less Cowboys offense, so I expect him to put up a solid game. Hunter Henry seems to be like the guy that when you start him, he sucks, but when you bench him or drop him, he goes off. He's coming off the tight end 1 performance, and I would fire him up against the Panthers defense. For the tight ends I'm looking to sit, Mark Andrews finds his name on this list yet again. He's coming off a really good week 3, but he's been historically bad against the Chiefs defense, and I don't see that changing this week. Evan Ingram was on this list last week, but he missed the game. Regardless, I'm still sitting him until major things change moving forward. That's all for this video. Let me know any of your start sit questions or any other questions in general in the comments.